So, we are talking about remote destinations today, and there are not too many more remote destinations than Greenland on Dream Travel Share Unpacked.
If you'd like to receive an email version of today's show, along with our weekly travel opportunities, click on the link below to join our mailing list. We promise to only send you one email a week every Friday. You can unsubscribe at any time, and we won't share your email address with anyone else.
Okay, so Bob, have you been to Greenland?
No, I have not been to Greenland, so I really want to go there. It's only really recently been on my list, interestingly. So yes, so I am in way over my head if you are looking for expert advice on Greenland. So I brought in a pro, Kim, and here he
Oh,
is.
awesome.
Yes, yeah, we have a guest today on Dream Travel Share Unpacked. I brought in Alex McNeil. He is the Chief Expedition Officer on HX. And we talked about HX a couple of weeks ago. If people missed our video blog there or any of our written stuff, you can catch up. Alex McNeil, Chief Expedition Officer for HX. How do you get a title like that?
Oh my gosh, you win the lottery, it feels like. I mean, it's the best job in the world. The first one I want to highlight that's front of mind for me always, but for others right now is Greenland. So we just became the first company to draw the connection with the new air route. So they opened a new airport on my birthday, actually, November 28th of last year. Myself and our CEO Gebhard were invited to join that inaugural flight. And starting this summer, there's going to be flights from Newark, just outside of New York, directly to Nuuk, Greenland, the capital of Greenland. It's a 4-hour flight. Greenland, the access to Greenland is being revolutionized. You used to have to fly to Reykjavik or Copenhagen and then come all the way back over. It can be up to 4 days at sea. And now travelers from North America can just get right into the action. And it's comparable to Antarctica. You have these towering icebergs, glaciers, just absolute natural majesty. But then you have the human side. You have people who've lived there for thousands of years who've got a really interesting story to tell, and they love welcoming people to their shores.
Well, that's actually an interesting, I hadn't really thought about that before. I mean, it's as spectacular as Antarctica is, it's a commitment, right? You're, you're, I don't know, 10 or 11 hours, depending on where you're flying out of just to get to Buenos Aires. And then it's another 4 hours past there. Then you got to go across the Drake. And again, totally worth it. But all of a sudden, Greenland is much more accessible, as you mentioned.
Yeah.
So, I mean, if you don't have to be away for 3 weeks necessarily to see it. And something I hadn't thought about, it's totally obvious now that you pointed it out, but there's people with culture on Greenland where, Antarctica is not inhabited other than people that live at the research station.
Exactly. And when I travel, you're probably the same. Many of your viewers probably feel similarly, and it's hard to find this. It's hard to discover it dependably. But you want to feel welcome. You want to feel like you're part of the story, and that there's a human connection. And Greenland is one of the most welcoming destinations I've ever been to, because tourism is such a emerging part of their economy and their future and their journey towards independence. You're kind of part of that. So people in Greenland are super enthusiastic about tourism.
So with that, Alex, I thank you very much for taking the time today, and we'll see you out there on the seas.
Sounds good. My pleasure, Bob.
Thanks, Alex.
Okay, Bob, so what types of itineraries are available if people should want to go to Greenland?
Yeah, there's quite a few different ones. So on HX, and we were just speaking with Alex, is that HX has itineraries that range between 13 and 21 days. And what I really like about these Greenland itineraries is, again, as he mentioned, you can now go around, it's 4 hours from New York City. So certainly anybody that lives in the Eastern time zone, it's not that far away. And even for those of us that live in other time zones, you can get to New York fairly easily and then over to Greenland. So from there, the Greenland, there's not only itineraries right around Greenland, but there's ones that include Greenland and the ands are Greenland and Iceland, Greenland and Canada, Northwest Passage, Greenland and Newfoundland, which is technically part of Canada, but a very different than the Northwest Passage. There's ones that go Greenland and over to Svalbard, Norway. So there's lots of different variations of this. It really just depends for how long you want to be away. And in fact, there's voyages that go all the way from Greenland all the way over to Alaska. You can run across the top. They go both ways. You can run from Greenland to Alaska or Alaska back to Greenland, which is pretty cool. Yeah, and finally, there are one or two expedition companies that combine Greenland with the St. Lawrence Seaway. So these are ones that will start or end in usually Montreal, sometimes Quebec City. And so you get to do the Quebec Eastern Townships, maybe stop in Halifax or some ports in Newfoundland as well, and Greenland. So that'd be pretty cool too.
So what are we talking about next week on Dream, Travel, Share, Unpacked?
It's going to be a rant. There's no way not to do it, but we're talking about air travel next week. I'm going to try to make it constructive so we can have an air travel survival guide.
I look forward to your rant.
All right. We'll see you then.
Bye for now.
If you enjoyed this video blog, it really helps us when you like, or better yet, subscribe to our channel so that we know the best content to produce for you. If you want to book a cruise or packaged land vacation, then we'd love to help you out. We know the products and destinations very well, and we can always get you something not available on direct bookings. Our coordinates are in the notes below. Also, if you haven't signed up for our newsletter yet, you get one email a week every Friday with some commentary and some different deals that we're seeing in the marketplace. We don't share your information with anyone else, and if you decide it's not for you, then we're sorry to see you go, but there's an unsubscribe button at the bottom of every email. See you next time.
What are we talking about next week, Bob, on Dream, Travel, Dream,
blooper.
Travel, Share, Unpacked?
Do it again. Do it again because I interrupted you.
Okay.